Today on Wildlife Nation Expedition Florida, we dive into the Everglades where a crisis is hiding in the water. We'll explore the challenges faced by the mighty alligator, from the tiniest hatchling to a formidable nearly 10-foot giant.
As you can see, this is a very big, very powerful alligator.
Then we'll uncover the secretive world of a mysterious aquatic amphibian.
I have waited half a century for this moment.
I'm Jeff Corwin. Wildlife Nation is dedicated to conserving the natural wonders of North America. And now we're teaming up with the Miccosukee tribe of Indians of Florida to safeguard the vibrant wilderness of the Sunshine State. We'll explore this region's diverse landscapes and extraordinary creatures as we work alongside the passionate conservationists dedicated to protecting them. This is Wildlife Nation Expedition Florida. Today, we're in the expansive Florida Everglades. This vast wetland, known for its rich biodiversity, is in peril. The impact from agricultural runoff, urban development, and pollution introduce harmful levels of phosphorus and nitrogen, along with other chemicals that impact the survival and health of both wildlife and the Everglades ecosystem. As the sun sets, I'm teaming up with Miccosukee tribe's fish and wildlife biologists to find ways to protect this struggling ecosystem.
I'm so excited about this next adventure because nighttime has fallen across the glorious river of grass. This is when the nocturnal creatures awaken, especially one in particular, for me, is the ultimate symbol of this wild wetland environment. Of course, I'm talking about the American alligator, a creature we almost lost, but now is surviving. Our goal for the Miccosukee is to make sure it's thriving, which is why we're doing this very important conservation project. You ready?
Let's go and catch some.
Let's go get some gators.
We glide through the inky blackness, sweeping our headlamps over the murky water in search of the glistening eyes of an alligator. It's not long before we catch a monster.
Got him. Nice gator. This is a little guy. Maybe this year?
Probably from this year, maybe a very early hatching.
So what do we need to do?
Now we're going to measure the alligator.
Okay, so total?
Yeah, 43.5 centimeters.
All right, let's do head length
6.2.
and tail girth.
A fat tail, really plump, means it's pretty healthy.
And this is 7.2.
Beautiful colors. Essentially, this is exquisite camouflage to blend in with the duckweed and the lily pads and the sawgrass. But at this size, you're looking at a protein-packed snack for herons, largemouth bass, water snakes. It's a survival game in numbers. Mom is gonna produce a lot of little babies, and as long as just one or two get that chance to survive, she's fulfilled her obligation.
Absolutely. We're also having a lot of problems with invasive species. For example, the Burmese python eat a lot of alligators. And the tegus are also moving north. And the tegus are predators for the nests.
Invasive species offer a new threat. These animals don't have that twisting road of evolution to evolve and adapt against. It's just this sort of flash mob of adaptation. They just can't do it.
Yeah.
Before we go, Craig measures the water depth of where we caught the gator.
It's important information because the Everglades is manipulated by humans so much, and to know how the manipulation of the water is affecting the alligators is it's an important aspect of the management.
In Florida, the management of water flow impacts a diverse range of stakeholders. This includes farmers who rely on water for irrigation and maintaining crops, and urban planners who must ensure communities have adequate water supply and flood protection. However, human manipulation of water levels often leads to extremes.
If you come back in February, this will be completely dry, like bone dry.
Really?
Yeah, they have a hard time surviving in that.
Ironically, even species that have adapted to wetland environments can struggle to survive when there's too much water, unable to adjust to the drastically altered conditions of their habitat.
Any other data points we need for this little guy?
I think that's it. I think we can let him go now.
All right, so our evening is off to a smashing success. We have our first gator, hopefully one of many. Here you go, buddy.
Coming up, our gator search continues.
Got him! It's been a few years since I've done that.
That was awesome.
nighttime conservation study in the Everglades with Miccosukee Fish and Wildlife biologists studying the American alligator. So far, we've caught and released a hatchling. But as we continue our search, we see something bigger stirring in the water ahead.
Got him! Is that how you do it?
That's how you do it. Get the other one.
It's been a few years since I've done
Yeah, that was awesome.
It's all about being safe, protecting the gator, protecting us, but this information is so important. So what we're doing, we're gonna tape the mouth closed because all the strength in a gator's jaw is the crunching down in the abduction and not in the opening up of the mouth. So once we do that, it's secure. And the great thing about electrical tape is that it sticks to itself, but it's not sticking to the skin.
I got his tail.
We're just kind of making sure he's stable and that we're all safe, because this is not a tiny gator. And the other thing we've done is we've borrowed Hector's bandana, and then we're cutting out the eye stimulation, so that way we're reducing the stress. How would you say the body condition is of this gator?
Oh, I think he's skinny, hey? Look at
Yes,
his
isn't he?
jowls.
He does look skinny, doesn't he?
It's very skinny.
So this is something that's concerning. We're seeing a lot of gators here in the Everglades seem to be thin. They seem to be underweight. It's got a very skinny neck.
Finding an underweight alligator in the Everglades could be an indication of underlying environmental issues. The primary concerns are food scarcity and habitat degradation. With our gator secured, we swiftly record its biometrics, including weight and length, and we identify this one as a female. Craig inserts a microchip for long-term tracking, a crucial step for this ongoing research and monitoring of the health of this animal and her species.
Greg, there's an intensity to this project. I mean, it's hands-on, but it's important.
We do this work because these alligators are such a keystone species in this environment. Without the alligators, you are going to have a decline in biodiversity.
In what way?
So the alligators will create alligator holes. They'll actually burrow down into the surface and create these big pools. And as the water starts going down in the Everglades, all the amphibians, the reptiles, the fish, they all congregate and then it becomes a refugia. And as the Everglades comes back again, then it repopulates.
And they have been a part of our planet before mammals were here. So they have an ancient history, a time-tested formula for survival. For you, Hector, why is this important to you?
Being a part of this, and what's important to me is that these animals are a keystone in my culture, our way of life, of protecting the land, our beliefs and our songs. These animals are always going to be a part of it, and losing that would be losing a bunch of our culture. And without this home, without this land, we lost our way of life.
They're keystone to this environment, and they're keystone to the culture, economic prosperity of a lot of people, including the Miccosukee people.
Absolutely.
So, Jeff, we've collected all the data we need on this female, so we're now going to release her back behind me. But we've got to be careful because it's as dangerous releasing it as it is bringing it on.
Okay. Nice and clean.
Nice and
Tape
clean.
is off. There she goes.
Successful capture and release.
Nice job. I got enough energy for another gator.
Oh, yeah,
Let's do it. All right.
Oh, let's do it.
Coming up, I get my wish, and then some.
This is a very big, big alligator.
Tonight, I'm exploring the wild heart of the land of the Miccosukee, teaming up with their fish and wildlife experts. Our mission? To check the pulse of the American alligator, a bellwether for this ecosystem's health. So far, our expedition has been a success, with 2 alligators already caught and released, providing valuable information for our research. But the night still holds more for us. A lot more.
This is a big gator. Right there, right? Is that him? This feels like a really bad insurance commercial. Muzzle right there? Right here.
Yeah.
Yeah! He's big. Whoa! That is a big gator.
There we go. Let him roll, let him roll. No, but it's still on the pole.
Yeah.
need help, Marcel? or No.
I got him.
So, as you can see, this is a very big, very powerful alligator. Warrants a tremendous amount of respect.
If you keep holding the tail,
Right?
I'm gonna get his head, I'm gonna start pulling him on.
Right? More. Here we go.
Once on board, we make sure this mighty gator is safely and comfortably immobilized.
Feel good?
Looks like he's secure.
So that was exciting. And you can see why you have to be so careful. Careful about the animal, but careful for our safety as well. Now this animal is safe. We can get that critically important data. All right, you guys ready?
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's do it.
All right.
We get to work, taking the animal's biometrics, including total length.
9.5.
9.5 feet long. Imagine the story arc of this creature's life. This is, I'm gonna guess, probably a male by its girth and its size, and you guys say there's an odor to it.
Yeah, that kind of skunky, sour smell.
He could be 40 years old.
Oh, at least, yeah.
Wow. This, from the appearance, seems to be a really healthy alligator.
Next, we attempt to get a weight.
Ooh. Well, we know he's heavy. Oh, my gosh.
190.
All right, just under 200 pounds.
You guys just check to see if he's got any tags in him now.
So the only way we can find out is if we search for a pit tag. I'm not seeing anything. Anywhere else it could be?
No, always on the right-hand side.
Right about here, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So this animal is completely novel to this research project. The opportunity to have a creature that has been thriving in his kingdom for so long, there's a lot of data we could get from this animal.
So like the previous gator, Craig carefully injects a pit tag just under the skin. With our vital conservation data in hand, the only thing left to do is let this big boy go home.
What do you want me to do?
Probably jump towards the other bird.
Yeah,
You ready for me to go?
yeah. Okay,
You ready?
yeah. Great job. Well done, man.
All right.
Good job.
Oh, yeah. This is what it's all about. It's all about the stewardship and conservation of the incredible wild legacy of the Everglades. And I can't think of a better symbol, a better ambassador than the American alligator. That was awesome.
That was awesome.
Good job,
well
guys.
Done.
Coming up, I come face to face with the creature at the top of my bucket list.
We know nothing about these creatures. They are a true conundrum. My friends, I have to tell you, I am so excited because I have waited my whole life for this next adventure. We're going deep into the heart of the Everglades, deep into the land of the Miccosukee, in search of one of the most mysterious amphibians on the planet. You guys ready? Let's do it.
I'm joining Dr. Craig Vanderheiden and Nick Gonzalez as they perform a conservation project for Miccosukee Fish and Wildlife.
All right, guys, so here's our spot. I have waited half a century for this moment. I know you're thinking, Jeff, 3 decades, no more than 3 decades, but I've waited half a century. So here's our trap, and we have this big lump of vegetation. These mysterious amphibians will work alongside of the vegetation looking for crawfish. In their pursuit for prey, they get trapped. So do I get my bucket list wish? Well, we got a couple of sunfish in there. Anything in that end?
No.
Okay, then. So, not everyone gets their dream, at least with this trap. Good news, fingers crossed, we have more traps to check. So, back in the airboats, let's find one of these mysterious amphibians. We just need something. I see a frog. What is that? Is that an eel?
No.
No, that's an Amphiuma.
Yep, it sure is. That is awesome.
Wait till you see this critter. My gosh. You're probably saying, Jeff, you've waited half a century for this? For this eel, well, let me tell you, looks can be deceptive because this is an extraordinary creature. First of all, it looks like a fish. It looks like an eel, but it is an amphibian. An amphibian that goes back tens of millions of years to the Miocene. This is an Amphiuma. It's actually a type of salamander.
With the utmost care, Craig gets some biometrics on the Amphiuma.
So we're gonna keep this animal safe and comfortable by gently sliding it into the water because they are like 99% aquatic. So why are we doing a study today? Why is it important for the Miccosukee to have a strong acumen and understanding of how these amphibians are doing?
Being an amphibian, they absorb a lot of chemicals into their body, so it's a canary in the mine, so to speak. So when we are sampling, we actually see what these animals have.
So this amphibian has a permeable skin, and it does what's called cutaneous respiration. So it will absorb air through its skin. So it will absorb chemicals through its skin. It is an indicator species. It tells us, it indicates the health of this environment.
Of the whole ecosystem.
So look at this. We say that he's legless, but if you look really close, you can see those ridiculously adorable little legs.
With 2 toes.
With 2 toes. We know nothing about these creatures. They are a true conundrum in the animal world. What we do know is that they are highly connected to their environment and resonate whatever is happening here ecologically. So if they're not doing good, that tells us something here has gone amok. So now we're gonna get a very, very small tissue sample, primarily a bit of the fin. So much we'll learn from that. We're gonna learn about the chemistry. Is it absorbing chemicals? We could learn about its genetics, all sorts of stuff.
Whether it's male or female.
You could.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Because we can't really tell.
We can't tell.
No worse for wear.
We're just going to record the number on the vial for the specimen that we took. What number is it, Nick?
Bravo 52.
So we have our measurements, weight, a sample, all our data. What else do we need?
I think that's it, eh? We can release them back into the wild.
I waited 50 years for 5 minutes. Here you go, buddy.
There you go.
Pretty awesome.
Awesome, Jeff.
Up next, we'll uncover one more elusive creature in the Miccosukee Everglades.
Bucket list number 2, checked off.
I'm in the River of Grass with the Miccosukee Tribe of Indians of Florida's Fish and Wildlife Service on a critical amphibian conservation study. There's one last creature I'm hoping to see.
One more trap to check. Is that an eel? What is that? That's not a, what is that? It's not a siren. That's a
Looks like
a
a
siren. Bucket list number 2, checked off.
All right, let's do
We
it.
take some precise biometrics from the siren.
What's the weight there?
350 grams.
So what makes the siren so cool? Named after those mysterious water beasts of Greek mythology. Well, this has this sort of strange appearance. If I lift it up, what you'll notice is that it has 2 front legs with toes. I mean, that's amazing.
And you can see the gills there too.
And it has gills on the outside. Those gills will sort of fluff up when it's in the water.
I got it.
And as with the Amphiuma, what do we hope to learn from this sample?
Going to learn whether we have males and females, but also to be able to look at how pollution is impacting the environment.
How are Amphiumas and sirens doing?
I think they're declining.
And what could cause that?
Invasive species.
A big problem because they outcompete them. So you bring something in like the Asian eel, and that Asian eel is ferociously and voraciously eating up all the crayfish. And the crawdads is a primary source of prey for a lot of these creatures.
Crayfish are the building blocks of the ecosystem here.
Because of invasive species, we've seen a decline in crayfish at 99%.
99%.
99% of the crayfish that sustain amazing animals like this siren have disappeared. And it would not be impossible to lose a species like this, but because they're so fossorial and secretive, they would disappear right under the radar screen. Would never even know it.
Very secretive animals.
And that would be lost. Imagine doing the dance of life, twisting your way through evolution for millions of years to be snuffed out because of negligence and irresponsibility, which is why the mission with the Miccosukee to protect the Everglades for themselves, for their culture, and for all of us, it's so important.